Throughout this hour, we're going to hear from members of all of you in the audience, and we're going to ask you to give us your views and your questions. And we're going to turn right now, if I may, Mr. Mayor, to some people, and let's get about the business of listening to some folks who don't often get either representation or heard. Yes, sir.
My name is Charlie Gangarossa. I'm the president, chairman of UAW Local 897.
A union member?
Yes, and a proud one, too.
All right. You know, the reason I say it that way, union membership in this country has dropped to just about 8.5% of the private workforce. So it is good to have you with us.
Yes, and I'm also a member of UAW Region 9 under the direction of Joe Ashton. In the last 4 years, I have lost in my plant over 1,200 jobs. Furthermore, we have lost thousands of other jobs in the auto industry. My question to you today is this: what is it going to take for corporations to understand the damage that they are causing to the United States economy and to the middle class? And also, what is it going to take for corporations to stop sending jobs overseas or out of this country, which is really hurting the middle class and the city of Buffalo as a whole? Right. We have lost a lot of other manufacturing jobs, so this has to stop.
Charles, thank you very much. Mr. Mayor, if I can turn to you, let's both take a shot at that. You're working in economic development, trying to replace all those manufacturing jobs. Few cities have lost as many manufacturing jobs as Buffalo, in point of fact. What are you doing? How do you answer the man?
Well, I think from my perspective as mayor, one of the things that we've tried to do is open up dialogue between working men and women, unions, and companies so that they can find some common ground. At the end of the day, companies want to produce products in a way that is economically realistic to them, that is affordable to the consumer. But if there's not a dialogue between working men and women and their unions and companies, then we have a situation where at times we lose jobs. So we have tried to foster that dialogue.
I'll add my answer, if I may, Charles. The idea that corporate America can continue the business practice of outsourcing jobs, good-paying American jobs overseas to cheap labor markets, many times offsetting a job that pays $15 to $20 an hour in this country, perhaps more, and replaces it with a job overseas paying about 42 cents an hour, let's say, for example. I don't know what it's going to take for corporate America to find a conscience, but that is the first thing that's required. The second is for enlightened public policy. That means principally in Washington, D.C. Mayors of communities all across this country trying to bring those jobs. But the truth is, most of the jobs in this country are created by small business, not big business. And we've got to do far more to stimulate and to support our small business. But we've got to do far more to insist that our corporate leaders act as leaders of American corporations, not as distant U.S. multinationals who are willing to look upon everyone in this room first as a consumer, a taxpayer, an employee, and this great nation first as a marketplace rather than the great nation it is. If we can change those attitudes, we can get a lot done. And I hope we're on the way to doing so. Thank you. We're going to hear a lot more from the audience and throughout